So, and we are live, I think. I hope. I sincerely hope. Welcome to the first art stream, Wednesday art stream in English, which is, of course, an experiment, as always. There have been quite a lot of experiments on this channel in total. And why stop with experiments concerning setup and other difficulties when you can also add to the difficulty level by doing maybe the most difficult meta variant, the final Elven meta variant for the Genesis character app in English. And what this is about. For those who don't know me, I'm Andreas A.S. Schroth, or Andreas Schroth, online better known as AS or Rabenars, which roughly translates into carrion that gets eaten by the ravens. I am an illustrator, mostly doing work for Shadowrun at the moment, also for some other role-playing games like Splittermond, Aborea, which people in English land, in Great Britain or the US, may not know, or most likely will not know. And for Shadowrun, there exists a character creation and management app, which is called Genesis. And this app is being financed via Patreon. And the task I am working on right now and have been working on for, I think, almost a year, or maybe even more than a year, is doing pictures of all of the meta types and also all of the meta variants. And this started out as a rather small project. At first, it was only the main beta characters, so gnomes, orcs, elves, trolls, dwarves, and then more than a year, Terranion, who is in the Twitch chat, is my client. Actually, he's the maker, the creator of the Genesis app. And since he is lucky enough to have a Patreon backing this project, the scope of the order and of the project was expanded stage by stage, not all at once, to include all of the meta variants, which we are close to finishing, and then also all of the meta sapiens. So there will be further art projects doing the Nagas and I don't know, whatever the new Shadowrun companion, which will release rather soonish, will contain. And of course, the current version of the meta variants, because edition by edition, the description of the meta variants always change a bit. And we are, of course, working with the newest, the Shadowrun 6, the Shadowrun 6 version of the rules. What you are looking at is the current state of this project. So this is on one single page, all of the meta variants in relative size to one another. You always see this gray outline of the male norm human for size comparison. And then, of course, the correct size in the decimal system. Sorry about that. And we have finished almost all of the elves. You can see in the second last row the elven meta variants, and there's just one missing. And as I've said in the beginning, this may very well be the most difficult of the meta variants to do, not by anatomy, because anatomy-wise, the norm meta variant with the 4 arms was 4 to 6 arms was the hardest to do. but by cultural implication, so to speak. Because this is we are working on I don't know what the name is even, the Xapiri Thepe. I don't know. This is how I, as a German, would pronounce that name. Um, uh, in English, I would probably pronounce it Shapiri Thepe. And in the South American language of their own, I don't have the slightest idea how it is pronounced. So if anyone has information on that, um, feel free to share this information. I don't really know how you would share this information right here in the Artstream, but there certainly is a way. One question to Tyrannion. You had a short exchange with the original author of the Xapiri, Thepe, whatever. I would like to share that because it includes a map of the region in South America where he originally intended this meta variant to be most present, and also his comments on culture and stuff. Um, can I share that as a screenshot or not? That would be good to know. And yeah, while we wait for the obligatory 30 seconds delay between me saying something and you reading something, I will quickly address the picture. So this is what you see in the shared screen is, of course, the norm outline for size comparison. Then a female Vakyambe. Again, I don't know what the supposed way to pronounce it is. And then a first sketch of the Xapiri that we did yeah, without the author name. Yeah. Okay, can't really blur that out at present. If you could do that and then share it via Discord, I could share it. But we can manage without. It's no problem. So since the Xapiri are a South American meta variant, which is very secluded, hasn't traveled the world very far, etc. It's one of those meta variants where I wonder what the raison d'être is of them, because, well, as most, I think almost all Shadowrun groups will play in an urban area. Um, Anywhere in the world, there isn't much reason to actually have them. But they exist, and if there is any player in the world who actually plays one of them, I would be very interested to know about if someone exists and what the character story is, and also if there are Shadowrun groups that play in the Amazonian jungle, um, possibly even off play, but also in game. So the group is situated there. As you can see or guess by the sketch, the original idea was to have this male character be some kind of shaman slash warrior. I've got another post. Quickly have to reopen Discord. I will close Discord again because sometimes Photoshop fucks up when Discord is open at the same time. And the idea was to have this warrior wield an Aztec-like sword, but yeah, when we were working on that, we stopped doing that because I said that we have to do some research on the thank you. Wait a second. So this is what the original author intended the Xapiri to be located. So where are they coming from? Because, well, I was researching when we last worked on the Xapiri. I was researching basically South American Indians, South American native tribes, whatever. And I had lots of pictures, but they were quite different, different styles, different tribes from different regions. And of course, my first impulse was to simply use a collection of styles and jewelry and headgear and whatever to to illustrate the Xapiri, because, well, in the sixth world and by 2080, every Xapiri may well have adopted different kind of clothing, even Western clothing. Um, you may remember in the first edition of first and second editions of Shadowrun, there were quite a lot of people, even Westerners, wearing Aztlan or South American or Aztec influenced fashion. Um, but then again, I was a bit not really afraid, but um, I thought, is it really my duty to portray cliches, or do I want to go one step further and do a little research on the looks of those indigenous, I don't know if it's pronounced that way, people of the intended area. So Terranion questions the author where exactly in the Amazonian jungle or in South American wilderness this meta variant is located, because of course the author does have so many words to describe all of the cultural background of these people. He had to omit quite a lot of information, but when we asked him, or when Terranion asked him, um, he drew up this map. So now I can look up what tribes and what cultures are there. Of course, being aware that even in this region there are several tribes and several cultures involved. Um, Before starting the recording, I found information in Reddit regarding this map of tribes of South America. I don't know how real that is, but it looks, I mean, we are still doing a tabletop role-playing game. They exist in real life. I haven't found any matches when I was looking for them. Wait a second. Of the pictures that were found containing that word, almost all are connected with Shadowrun. So, but there are three pictures that seem to be about real South American Indians. Yeah, do that. Okay. Xapiri is a Yanomami term that characterizes the shaman's male spirits. So this would be actual the Yanomami. Okay. It's nice that I'm looking here and reading, and Terranion is answering the same questions in question in the Twitch chat. Okay. Okay, this is not helpful. So these are the Yanomami. As I'm researching this, a quick remark. When we are doing the illustrations for the meta variants, we always try to depict them in different jobs and from different ethnic origin as far as that is possible. So if you when I was doing the ogres, for instance, this is a meta variant that is most prominent in Europe, and especially in the region that Germany happens to be in. So of course the ogre I did was or one of the ogres I did was clearly a German person. Um, if the description offers the possibility that a meta variant is globally present, we always try to have some diversity. So a dark skinned, a light skinned, an Asian fellow here, and etc. And also regarding the jobs or the functions within the runner team, that it's not too cliche. So the female version isn't always the face or the decker, and the male version isn't always the strong street samurai or whatever. It's of course not possible to have a mathematically balanced diversity in all cases. And of course, there are meta variants that are, by their very definition and description, limited to a certain region. For instance, the satyrs are, of course, of Greek origin. Mostly, there may be others as a very, very rare exception in the Shadowrun world. But generally speaking, there are Greek people. So, yeah, wherever possible, we try to be as diverse as possible. With the Xepe or Xapiri, they are described as a very reclusive meta variant that is quite hidden from the outside world in their Amazonian jungle. And yeah, by that very virtue, I will not add an Asian or Caucasian um, variant of the meta variant. um, but will stick to the the clothing, the style, the jewelry, the makeup, face painting, whatever, of the people there. And I'm just now looking at picture references of the Yanomami, which seem to fit. Modern Xapiri leaving their secluded living seem to be ecological activists. Yeah, okay, so Xapiri ecological activists may have reason to leave the rainforest and venture out into the Western or Asian world. But yeah, maybe I will do one Xapiri who is clearly close to nature in the rainforest, so very with tribal clothing, tribal face paint, whatever, and the other, maybe the female one, being an ecological advisor style of person, face, whatever. Activists can turn runners fast. Yeah, you're right there, Terranion. Terranion. I think I will settle for Terranion. Okay, so, in the last artwork that was done for the Xapiri, the Xapiri had a headgear with feathers, which I have seen several times. When indigenous people from South America were involved. But looking at the pictures of the Yanomami, I can't see a headgear of that type. I can see these, sorry for a better term, these toothpicks. These, I don't know what they are called. Although there was this, yeah, okay, he has a kind of feathery headgear, and okay, this is, I think there was another one, this one here. Yeah, he has kind of feather stuff on his head. Maybe if I search for Yanomami shaman, those are words that I know how to write, but I rarely hear them spoken out, so I really don't know. Oh, this feather headgear. Okay. Again, there are limits to what an illustrator can do. I can't study the culture of the Yanomami for 6 years before doing this picture. But okay, feather headgear seems okay. Sticks, whatever they're called, are also apparently a given. As a possibility, I don't have to do that, of course. Okay. Good. I think I've seen enough. I will not use the female Vakyambi in this picture. Is just present so that I can pick some of the colors from her. Yeah, as Terranion just mentions, the main feature of the Xapiri is that they have a chloroplast skin condition. So they are partially, I don't know, they are not partially plants, but they can live off sunlight for some time. And these green spots on their body grow as they get older. Yeah. Sorry again. We have the problem that there's about 60-second delay between what I'm saying and what Terranion is writing. So, back to the original sketch. Just have to fetch it a bit. Oh, yeah, and I will turn the camera a bit. So, okay. I still like the stance somewhat, but not altogether. I think I will. Oh, not that one. I will rework the upper hand. Into some kind of magic gesture, for lack of a better word. And since the characters are still runners of one kind or another, I will include some gear that that a runner may use. So, for instance, even though he is a protector of nature, he still is wearing some kind of Western short trousers. I will leave out these applications at the feet because I don't know, I don't have the slightest idea from what culture they are coming. It's just a picture that popped up in my head during sketching. No ill intentions. This would be here. This would be here. Yeah, this is okay. Okay. I think I will have him be. I don't know if that was correct. Rather young or a younger Xapiri. So he has less of this plant skin stuff. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Would have been better. Let's do that again. And then the female version will be older and will be face negotiator type of person. This first outline isn't very precise, and it doesn't have to be. This is more like a proof of concept, a proof of form, so that even when you are not looking at the illustration in an zoomed in kind of version, you still get the shape and the stance and what it's about. 9! No. Yeah. A bit lighter. Let me have another look at the facial features. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these sticks seem to be present only in younger people and women. I've seen at least one woman wearing them. I have not seen a shaman using them. So, yeah. So maybe I'm not using them. What's that? There's a small spot. Okay. The Vakyambi, of course, being darker skin tone wise. I will not go into the full darkness or in the... I have to stay lighter. Again, don't look at the outline, at the form, because I will cut things away as time wears on. For all those who have seen older other projects here for Genesis, you know the drill, so to speak. I will give him some kind of scarf. Again, I haven't seen any pictures of shamans actually wearing scarves of any kind. But in Germany, we say, don't be päpstlicher als der Papst. So don't be over accurate. I doubt, even though I don't know, of course, that wearing a kind of scarf is against the religion or the culture of the Yanomami. I'm now merging two of the layers, so can work over these sketch lines I did earlier. Ah, yeah, Terranius, right, of course. Since this is all basically all about the green spots, having the scarf may actually be a real disadvantage. Yeah, I think it will it will work nonetheless. Okay. Yes, even after all those years, I still have to look up how the human body is constructed. A quick check. Now looking for eyebrows and hair growth and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. short look at the feather headgear. Yellow, red, green with blue toppings. Tips, not toppings. I mean, of course, I have my own ideas what would look cool as a headgear. But since I'm no expert and I don't know if there are if what the cultural meaning behind the colors is, and yes, of course, you're totally right. Who the fuck cares? It is highly unlikely that any Yanamomi will ever play Shadowrun and see this illustration and be offended by it. But then again, no one ever complained about too much attention to detail or too much respect of anyone's culture. So why TF not? Zu bedenken ist bei diesen Illustrationen auch wiederum, dass die in der Originalanwendung, also sprich in der Genesis-App, ja nur in winziger Größe zu sehen sein werden. Wobei, auch das sei gesagt, wir wissen, welche hohe Auflösung Bildschirme heutzutage haben. Und so wie ich Terranion kenne, wird es auch Möglichkeiten geben, in die Bilder rein zu zoomen, sodass dann also alle meine Zeichenfehler in glorreicher, detailreicher Größe sichtbar sind. Ach, Language. Wow. Echt? Really, I reverted back to German. I really didn't notice. Not at all. But that's of course the problem. The larger part of my brain is preoccupied with drawing. Da, as should be the case, so to speak. So, yeah, well, it happens. Terranion, if I remember correctly, these plant parts of the skin were actually glowing, right? They weren't just green, but they were glowing green, so to speak. So to speak, they were glowing green. Yeah, do that. Okay. Okay. They glow in ultraviolet light, whatever that helps here. Okay. Okay. I will now try to have glowing patches of green. I will maybe more in. This is on a new layer, and then I will try certain channels and functions of Photoshop to combine them. So layer effects, basically. Taranian, can you tell me once again where those patches form first? So head, I think it was neck and shoulders, and not the face at first, but I may be wrong. That would be helpful to know. Cranial area. Let's have to look up what cranial area means in German. Schädelbereich, okay. The dermis layers begin with these patches around the oral, cranial, and posterior portions of their bodies, expanding as they get older, with those reaching full maturity, roughly 45 years of age, having the patches across their entire body. Okay. Okay, this one doesn't look too young, or it turned out not looking that young. So yeah, maybe I have him be the older variant and the woman be the younger variant. This is partially cliche, but I won't make her sexy. Roughly 45. Yeah, he looks a bit younger, but not much. And there are patches. Okay. Ja, dann gucken wir nochmal, was wir Blendungsoptionen angeben. Mein Guess wäre, dass... now let's see what kind of blending options there are in Photoshop. My guess would be that the normal mode is the best. Maybe a more transparent version of negative multiplication. Oh, this is nice too. Linear, okay. This doesn't look too bad too. Linear light. Linear this. A bit weaker. I think this is nicer. This would be more subtle. This would be, I think, the strongest I would go for. Tarania, what do you think? Better weaker or better stronger? This would be the weaker version. This would be the stronger version. What do you say? I like it like this. Yeah, I can work with that. So 66% as it is right now, more, less. Okay. Let me just make a quick note of the setting. 66%. Linear abwählen, as it's called in German. I don't have any idea what it's called in English, because I will use the same setting when doing the female version. Or maybe a little bit less, because I'm now switching back to the normal blending mode, because I want to do some more spots on the arm, and when I'm using the color picking tool, I would get wrong results, so to speak. Just some small spots at the arms. And I will double this layer so that I have it for future use. This layer will be set to the settings I just jotted down. And then right clicking is sometimes a problem with my mouse. Come on! try to get actual hands out of these lumps of flesh I have done here. Think. As it's often the case with my sketches, the lower arms, which in this case is an upper arm, are a bit too long. Yeah, must get a little of its thickness back. You see that? It's still an elf, so being somewhat on the lean side of things is definitely okay. It's also not bad to give all this a little bit of a sketched look, so there's no harm done by having a little bit of, yeah, let's say dirt or having parts of the cutout that are not too clean, not too precise. I have to paint a bit, repaint the foot a bit after deleting stuff that's By the way, why am I wearing headphones? It's because I cannot really draw paint without listening to music. And since neither Twitch nor YouTube lets me allows me to play my Spotify playlist, I'm listening to it on my headphones. I think there is a technological solution to this, but so far I have not yet found time to look into this matter. So, jetzt kommen wir zu dem lustigen Part. Now we get to the fun part. As Bob Ross would put it, the part with the happy accidents. Because I neither can nor do I want to control every singular brushstroke. I'm just blending and mixing stuff here and looking for structures that look interesting. Of course, somewhat realistic, believable, whatever you may call it. And if I make a mistake, a real mistake that I do not want, I have always the option to undo it because I'm working digitally, which may be the singular biggest advantage you have when doing digital work. There was a discussion on Facebook recently where someone was just starting out with working in with the digital media, and he asked if it's really a big change or what the main changes of working with digital media compared to traditional techniques is. And my answer was the undo function. That's the biggest game changer. All of the other stuff of course, there are things you can do with digital media or where digital media can help you. For instance, like these green spots, you can You can try different blend modes. As a matter of fact, Taranan, I don't think if we actually have other VOS. I don't know. But of course, later, when people watch this on Twitch or even on YouTube later on, you can always write in the comments what you think. Of course, by then we really can't. Oh, I'm saying, of course, we can still change it. So if anyone has a great idea or different opinion, just write and complain to Taranion, because whatever he says, that's the opinion I have to respect. All of the others, yeah, well. I'm cutting off the fingers here because I have to redo the hand anyway. Ooh, 4 other viewers. Ooh, global audience. Hi, Scarabaeus. Okay, now for those figures. Right now, his hands look like you put them in the meat grinder. How did the razor find my throat? Yeah, it has to get worse before it gets better. Okay. I'm Ikara Chandra. I totally understand that you have issues if you're watching this on a train, so no worries. I'm never offended by anyone quitting anyway. And if you watch this later, you're more than welcome to do that. And if you don't want to watch it later, well, I'll be waiting for you in a dark alley. No problem. Yeah, 100%. All right. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm always humming or singing under my breath, or not always, but huh? Wait a second. Mistakes were made. Yeah, mistakes were made. There are days, I'm sure you know them too, whatever your profession is, especially if you have a creative profession where something just didn't, it looks awful. Let's start anew. The worst part of all this is years from now, when I hopefully have improved to a point where I am actually content with what I'm doing, I can still look back on this on YouTube and say, God, what the fuck? Yeah! Kill it with fire. One of the problems is also that I'm working with a brush that actually needs a bit of some kind of a minimal size to work. And since I'm here working here in with 8 pixel brushes, the brush that I'm usually using really has problems to bring the full not opacity, basically the exact opposite of opacity to the the picture. Nope. Okay. It's not perfect, never is, but this now is a hand I can live with. Again, sorry future self, when you're looking at this, be kind to me. I didn't know any better. Part of the problem being that hands in magical gestures always look strange because they are actually unfamiliar to most of us, at least. So even if you do them right, I mean, anatomically perfect, which this isn't, I know that, they still look weird. Weird as in hard to believe for our mundane eyes. Yeah, I know, it doesn't look right. das? Yeah, of course. Using age-old pictures is unacceptable. We have our standards. Yeah, I think we can trash this. Yep, that's correct. Sorry. Slowly but steadily, this drawing is bordering to the traumatic for me. I mean, this would be bad enough if this was a German video and there were just the usual German followers watching. But the potential to this being my first international appearance on Twitch, this is becoming a nightmare. This is so wrong. I mean, this is blatantly, unexcusably wrong. I'm bothered by several things. I mean, the upper arm of the right and the left side have a different length, which would be okay if from our perspective, right arm would be more in front of the body, so you have some foreshortening, but isn't really the case, or it's a bit the case because it is the one is here, the other is here, so a bit of foreshortening is okay, but I don't think it's enough. No, it's too much. The other way around. So yeah, yeah, that's actually the simplest solution to my problems. I have to cut out this arm yet again. Because I think the left arm, where's the problem? The left arm. Let's see. Yeah, the left arm is a bit too. If he would do it here, it would be here at the ribs. No, that's actually okay. It's not much. I think this is okay. So again. I was so hopeful when I started out. I thought, well, it can't be that hard. So I will do this one, then I will do the female, and with a bit of luck, we can start with the Naga, which I'm hugely looking forward to because this is such an interesting project to do the yeah, a Shadowrun Naga, a Naga or Shadowrun, or whatever the correct version would be. I won't complain that a Naga, a runner without hands, really. I won't say it doesn't make any sense, but I will say it will be a weird, or it is a weird concept. And I wouldn't like to be a game master for a player that plays a Naga Shadowrunner. Because in every single mission, even if you write all of your missions yourself, which I tend to do, you will hit a snag with a runner that doesn't have any hands. Also, of course, if you are um, if you play a runner that is a pixie, yeah, that's there. Yeah, of course you can have a Surge Naga with arms, but the basic Meta Sapient from the companion, I think, is a regular Naga, so it's a Naga without hands. I mean, basically, it's the same with these guys, the Xapiri. I don't really know why they are even in there. I mean, is I mean, it's good to know that they exist, yeah. Um, and yes, the only meta variants that are described are the ones that are available as player characters, and of course, every meta variant is a possible player character. But I find the concept still strange to offer to yeah, to the to usual um, Shadowrun audience as a playable character. Because really, if they are that secluded, it's yeah, it's. I think it ought. But then again, ought is Shadowrun's second name, so no problem with that. Also, this is wrong. Nope. Nope. Okay. Yeah. I remember there was something with the other hand. Hmm. Oh, they do offer something special for the game, but given that the amount of text you can present in any given source book is limited, I would have opted for more information for one of the more common meta variants or one of the more common, the more usable meta variants for normal Shadowrun groups. For instance, I think that a lot can be said about the living habits and special, not rules, but special ways, let's say ways, of the night ones, or the Japanese dwarf meta variant, forgot the name. So I would rather do that than introduce yet another an additional meta variant where I don't really know if it fits for most most groups, most playstyles, most settings, etc. But again, feel free to prove me wrong, all you Xapiri players out there, and tell me that you've been playing them for years and love them. And I really am interested to know if they are actually played or if it's maybe also as a plot device. But then again, yeah, well, the companion isn't really about NPCs and plot devices, or that's not how I understand it at least. I think it's about player options. Ah, oh God, that was a close one. When moving my hand, I one of my fingers got caught in the coffee cup, drawing it back and almost spilling it right over my desk. Yeah, Kuro. Yeah, Meta Sapient. Um, Characters requiring a fish tank is also a thing where I ask myself, why? Just why? I don't have the slightest against it. It's okay. It's another option. It's fun to read about them, and they're really, truth be told, there isn't any real source book where you could put them otherwise. I mean, you have the Critter Companion of whatever the name is in the various editions, but of course, a regular meta variant of human doesn't belong in there. And okay, meta sapiens, yes, they loads of them could be placed there and are placed there. And the Xapiri, they offer a lot of, or at least some mission and adventure ideas. Being meta variants, however, you can't put them in a critter book. So I kind of get what the problem of what the thoughts behind introducing them are or were. So just to be clear, I don't have anything, I don't have the slightest against these or any other meta variant or meta sapient. The more options, the merrier, so to speak. So Okay. Anyone, and especially Taranion, see anything that you disapprove of, or that looks funny or wrong or whatever? Okay. And we have that one. Yeah, as per usual, we haven't saved the pic in a long time. Now we can lose that one. I'm saving under a new name. What time is it? Oh. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, let's at least begin with the female version. Begin with the preliminary sketch. Okay. Since he is the older version, she is a younger female. Yeah, obviously female. Xapiri, who works as a face ambassador, activist, eco activist, must still be a runner, so could also be yeah, well, a terrorist kind of person. Let's see what we come up with. She will be a bit smaller than him as usual. Oh, let's first take a look at Yanomami. Try girl first. I mean, this looks great, of course. I mean, an older version of her. Maybe with an animal. Why not? Why not, indeed? Okay, she will definitely have these sticks, toothpicks, whatever they're called, as they seem to be really prominent in Yanomami culture. With some flowers. Eastern Amazon. No, that's not us. We are a Western Amazon. Dark face painting, perhaps. Yeah, and she won't be bare-chested. So that some users won't get a heart attack when they open Genesis. As said, I slash we are from Europe, we are not really offended by much nakedness wise, but I know that there are people in the world that see these things differently. And since this is an ambassador to the Western metroplexes, it's quite okay to be clothed. Okay. Nope. You still have the chloroplast for the male version on an extra layer in case you want to increase his patches. No, I haven't. I have the extra layer of the patches in this way. So yeah, theoretically I can increase them, but not all in all. Yeah, you understand? So I could, for instance, add a little bit of green, or but I have to rework them. I just kept them to have the same hue in the female version. It's still an elf. natürlich muss die total geschlossene Front hier, die ich eigentlich lieber hätte, weg, sonst haben wir keinen Platz, wo wir ähm, das Grün zeigen können. Ah, I would have preferred to not have a lot of this cleavage. Because I don't want to show her as an over sexualized person. But since she is a younger Xapiri, she only has this very distinctive green patches in the upper body region. So there isn't really much. I mean, I will show her bare lower arms without any spots, or maybe only tiny dots, more like freckles. Um, so that you really see that it looks different than the older man. Maybe actually. I'll do this differently. So maybe more like that. So this will be a shirt with some kind of Gaia print. She will wear trousers. With reinforced knees. And then combat boots. Maybe also have a writing here on the side of the trousers, the pants, and some revolutionary tattoos, or maybe some buttons here. So someone where you can see, Tara first, make a note of that. So that you see that maybe she or her mother, her parents, moved to the Western cities to be ambassadors of ecological protection, but she, being raised there, has discovered that this is all fake and a lie, and it won't work with peaceful protest, and she um, went into the shadows to, well, do some real damage. Okay, I think I will leave it at that. Let this idea and concept boil and grow and spread a bit in my poor brain. And we call it a night at this point. Thank you for having been here, especially to Taranian, of course. It's always great to have the client on board and have his watchful eye hovering behind me to get direct feedback. Thanks for all others, also for everyone who watches this stream later on Twitch or on YouTube. Feel free to comment anytime about anything or ask me anything, whatever you like, to make suggestions on how to improve this concept. And if you think that this is that having a Shadowrun Artstream in English is a good idea or a bad idea, or if you prefer it in German or English or Russian or Spanish or Ukrainian or Czech or whatever. I can always learn a new language for you. Um, yeah, and we'll see each other again next Wednesday. The new streaming plan is online, so um, um, we have on Tuesdays and Thursdays, whenever I have the time and I'm not totally tired in the evening, I will make a little let's play. And Wednesday, I always try to keep the date and do an art stream. And then we will have a Raven talk sooner or later. I have one big topic that I really, really, really would like to discuss openly and yeah, and share it with the public. And this is meta types, playing meta types, meta racism, in-game meta type racism in the Shadowrun world. But I think that this may be a very difficult topic. So, well, what's your opinion on that? Should one do it? Should one avoid this? And then also, I want to basically repeat those Shadowrun talks I already had in German in an international way. So in English, with some updates, some live talk partners um, in the Discord server. And yeah, and I want to repeat since the first videos I did and shared on YouTube about constructing floor plans and battle maps on the fly with PowerPoint are among the most popular videos I have on my channel. But I originally recorded them when my internet connection was very, very poor. I want to redo them in a better quality, both in German and then yet again in English. Also, I want to redo the video about the character tent and the NPC sheet, which I already did in German in an English version, so that more people that are new to Shadowrun can quickly improve their own game, which means making the job of the game master easier. So, thanks for joining me today, and we'll see each other pretty soon. Bye bye. And I'm off.